Well, Nigeria is one of the weirdest countries where we have everything, but we also lack everything at the same time. We have everything and we lack everything. We have a society where we are led by people that believe in mirage, right? So the problem we're having in Nigeria, why we don't have a lot of professionals, is we have people that know but cannot translate that knowledge to action. You should build emotion more than the product. So for the growth of any business, emotion is much more important. Whether or not you disagree with me, I think we have better police officers than we have the bad ones, but we just have access to the bad ones more than we have access to the good ones. Most business owners don't understand what even growth is. Brothers and sisters, prayer doesn't give you money. Prayer doesn't give you prosperity. I don't believe. So the first cultural barrier that is holding a lot of people in Nigeria is religion. You see, there's something about life. Anywhere you're going to is guaranteed except to stop going there. Consistency requires one thing, and that thing is called clarity.
Hi, welcome to yet another episode on the COO. And of course, just like I always tell you, here we talk solution. And of course, today I have in my small studio, Gift, a friend, a brother, an inspirator, and every single thing you wish to have in mind. Gift, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome, bro.
I'm happy
So
to be here.
today we'll be talking about the Nigerian worker. On this day, 1st May, is Workers' Day, and of course, everybody keeps complaining about certain things about the Nigerian worker. But today, we need to dissect every single thing about it. We need to look at it from every angle, and it's going to be an interesting discussion. And I bet you it's going to be an engaging discussion because we get to know why we are the way we are and how this translates into our collective socio-economic and socio-political development. Once again, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. So, Gift, I want us to take it, one step at a time. How will you describe a Nigerian worker as relates to efficiency?
First of all, let's look at the word efficiency. State of being efficient. Most Nigerian workers, I would say this, and I'll say it in a way where a lot of people might be provoked. But the truth is, we have a lot of workers that are efficient in the wrong things. So you are putting in enough effort because you want a particular output, whether the right output or the wrong output, or in something that is not going to give you the right outcome. So let me explain. We are living in a society, especially in Nigeria, where most people are not considering the process, I beg your pardon. What we are looking for is the results. And if you're looking for the results for any endeavor, you cannot be efficient. You cannot expect the right thing to come out. So if I would describe it, a Nigerian worker or Nigerian workers are efficient, poorly, average. We have citizens around the world where they're putting in effort. We want at the end of the 30 days, we want this particular amount of money. And because we want that particular amount of money, we're not putting in the right effort. We're not working to enjoy the progress. We're not working to the growth of the company or the business or the brand. We are working because the only thing we want is that at the end of that 30 days, we will have money. So if that is the goal, if the goal is payment, if the goal is money, if the goal is no growth, that would hinder efficiency. So permit me to say the efficiency of a lot of Nigerian workers is below average. And I'm going to say this, from punctuality to attitude while working to the growth mindset, right? We have people that are working because they want to make money, not because they want to be CEO themselves. I'm not saying everybody should become CEO.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody should own their business. There are people that are destined in quotes to work. There are people that should work. But the truth is, if you are working, there should be a goal. And if there's no goal for your own self, right? There should be a personal goal for yourself. All right, I'm an OAP, I'm a business owner, and I'm working for an organization. And for me personally, that organization I'm working for should be a stepping stone for other things I want to do. If that mindset is key, efficiency will by extension will accelerate. Is that making sense? So most times, what's hindering our efficiency? The fact that we have a very mediocre mindset, and because of that mindset, you're really not growing.
All right. The thing is, people will say labor is quite cheap in Nigeria, and there is no way you could pay because most workers are underpaid. They are
A lot.
poorly paid, and then people will say there's no way you expect efficiency from a worker that barely that whatever that take on pay barely sorts things out for
Yeah.
them. So, what do you think? What do you think could we could say this is what we should be doing, not just the employer but the employee, to enhance workers' efficiency?
First of all, if you are saying the reason why I come to work late or the reason why I act the way I act is because I'm underpaid, then you should be sacked. Because first of all, you applied for that job. And because you applied for that job, whether you like it or not, you already know how much you should be paid. So the quality of your value is directly proportional to how much you get paid. So whether or not you like it, you should be efficient. Your mindset of I'm not being paid very well, so how do you expect me to put in work? How do you expect me to come in 9 to 5? That's because that is how much we are being seen. Right? So the first thing we have to do for anybody that wants to increase efficiency is to change the mindset. Like everything I always say has to do with the mind. Whether or not you get paid 30,000, 70,000, or 1 million, there are sets of rules and principles that organization is expecting. So if you change your mind to you delivering the right service or the right product to that business and that company, by extension, you'll be efficient. Right? So what we should focus on is not even the things we need to do, but the things we need to stop doing. First of all, you need to stop thinking about yourself to be poor or being mediocre. You need to think about yourself as someone that can step up from here. Right? This place you are doing this thing now. See, the truth is, if you begin to fail from someone else, you also fail from your own.
Of course.
Yeah. So if your mind is, I get paid this particular amount of money, so this is why I cannot put in the whole work. I need to relax. I need to chill. That would also rub off on your business. So first of all, you need to change your mindset. As any employer or employee, the first thing you need to do is to change your mind. You need to figure out a mindset that would make you also lead. Because whether or not you're a staff or you're a brand owner, you are also leading. You're leading yourself, right? So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing that really increases efficiency for workers is the fact that you need a battle of your own. You need to start up your own thing. Now, when I mean start up your thing, I'm not saying you should leave this thing you're doing, right? You need to have a taste of an external form of growth, right? You need to feel that prick that beats you when you are working on your own. So, for instance, like yourself now, you have a podcast, you have a business, and you are probably working for a business or an organization. Now, because you understand how it feels like to be inefficient for yourself or for your own staff, you would not want to display that inefficiency for someone else. Right? So, first of all, our mind. Second of all, we need to figure out our own battle and run this battle.
All right. It seems like you're actually pushing this whole the whole thing back to the employer, to the employee. I beg your pardon. But the thing is, there's role of leadership, because I know, just like we said earlier on, money is actually a factor.
Yes.
Reward is a factor. Yes, I, for one, I get more serious with the client that pays well, than the client that decides to be underpaying, because there are clients that have a way of how will I put it now? They have a way of undervaluing you. But you see that client that values you well and then pays what he's supposed to pay. There's this level of efficiency that we apply, and then because we want to retain them. So what I want to ask you, what do you think is the role of leadership and invariably even the government as well in ensuring efficiency?
Psychologically, reward is always greater than punishment, whether you like it or not. We are humans. We've been programmed to always love reward. Yeah. That's why whenever you promise a child, oh, if you get first, I'm going to buy you a bicycle, psychologically, 40 to 60% of children tend to get better. Why? That's because there's a potential reward. So most employers should take note of reward. Now, there's a saying, I think it's Maslow or PDJ, he said reward publicly and punish privately. Right? When there's something going on in your organization, if you want to increase efficiency, always put reward out there. We have a goal. Now, there's the prospective reward and the retrospective reward. So let me give you the prospective reward. If I give you a car and tell you, if if you, okay, for instance, let's say you are working at a sales or a commission-based job, right? And at the end of the month, you are meant to get 10% of that commission, or you are meant to get a car. Now, that is retrospective reward. That means at the end of the month, you get that car. But if I give you that car and tell you at the beginning of this month you have this car, and if you don't meet up that target, I'll collect that car from you. Which do you think will be better? Prospective.
Yeah, prospective.
Yeah, because, oh, I have this car already and I don't want to lose it. So most business owners should take note of prospective rewarding system. It has been proven to be the best. So reward is very good. Now, punishment is also good, because you can't be a leader when you only give gifts without giving punishment. So, but always punish in public and reward. Always punish privately and reward publicly, and that's going to increase the growth of efficiency of your workers.
All right, thank you so much. I have this very important question, and then that will take us to the very next one that is a bit contentious. But this one, what does professionalism mean? What do you think professionalism means in the Nigerian context? Because a lot of people say, I'm a professional. But when you get to work with them, when you get to work with them, like, is this actually what you mean by professionalism? So, what do you think professionalism is in the Nigerian context?
Nigerian context, not general context. So
we're going to take it from Nigerian context, and what, because it's not really subjective.
It's not.
There's a standard. There's a standard. There's a professional. When it comes to professionalism, there's a standard. So what is?
So first of all, I want to know what context are we talking about? Are we talking about just every kind of worker? Are we talking about CEOs? What kind of work?
Every kind of, because the thing is, professionalism means this standard. You have to meet this standard, and every level of work required, it comes with a standard. And until you meet that standard, you can't call yourself a professional. That's what I know, but I really want to know what you think.
Okay, so the thing about professionalism is two things. You knowing, right? You knowing and you having the ability and skills to apply the knowledge, right? So you have enough knowledge in the field, right? So not just knowing, you also have the right skills to apply that knowledge, right? So the problem we're having in Nigeria, why we don't have a lot of professionals, is we have people that know but cannot translate that knowledge to action. So if you don't have the ability to translate knowledge to action, you're not a professional. And if you know only the action and you don't have the knowledge, you're also not a professional. So the combination of knowledge and action and the right skill is what makes you a professional. That is why you have someone that is a mechanic or a driver or a bus conductor, and let's even use photography or video editing, and then something goes wrong and the person doesn't know why that thing went wrong. The person only knows how to fix that thing. So if that kind of thing happens again, how do you expect the person to be able to fix it? So, but in the standard is, you know the cause and you know the solution, right? So that's what makes you professional. Knowing the cause, having the right skills to implement the action that will take. So knowledge and ability to do.
Knowledge and ability to do, and that takes us to the next question. Just like I told you, that whatever thing we're going to say in this first one takes us to the next question. Let's say, why would you say Nigerian workers are generally professionals in their conduct? Why or why not? Because I can remember when Dangote was establishing his refinery, they had to employ I think hundreds or even thousands of engineers from India. And people actually protested. Even some in some quarters in the labor congress, they were like, doesn't mean that we don't have professionals in Nigeria who can handle this thing. But the thing is, I'll still take us back to the book I once reviewed, Lin Kuan Yew, From Third World to First, where he made mention of the fact that they had to institute a system to make their people, the people Singaporeans, to be top professionals, so that they will be able to compete equitably with their counterparts in the labor market. That's not labor market outside the world, in Singapore, because they were trying to attract foreign direct investment into the country. Foreign direct investments like Toyota, like Mercedes, they are trying to attract these companies into the country, and they need their engineers to be able to get to the level where they can work in these companies effectively. And he achieved it. He got to a point that when these companies come in, they are rest assured that they have quality hands in Singapore. So, professionalism. Do you think? I think I need to look at that question. Would you say Nigerian workers are generally professionals in their conduct? Why? If you say yes, why? If not, why not?
The honest truth, right? The honest truth is we have We have very good hands. We have
Mm.
professional, but we have people that are mediocre. Right. So generally, and that's why there's always going to be a context. Generally, if you're taking it from the wider scale, you assume Nigerians are not professional, and that is because the people that have the knowledge but don't have the ability to deliver the skills are the ones giving this opportunity. So, for instance, if you ask me now, oh, there's an engineering opportunity, right? Right, and probably you need someone that knows how to do this. I would bring people that have the skill to do it, but you will give me the job. Now, if something goes wrong, who should be blamed? Me or the people I bring?
You'll be hired.
Exactly. So next time, who would you give opportunity? Not me. Whether or not I know the skill or not. So the thing is, we've had more bad eggs than the good eggs, given the opportunity to work.
So how does workplace culture influence professional behavior among employees? Because culture is everything. Workplace culture is everything. Because culture, just like we all know, is a way of life. The way you stood that this is how we are supposed to do these things, and this is what is expected of every one of us. So how does workplace culture instill professionalism?
First of all, one of the old school will say the anointing of Aaron flowed down from his beard even to his garment. In an environment where there's poor culture, when there's a particular kind of attitude, the environment is toxic. There's no way you exhibit good professionalism, and that's because for there to be an output of any form, there must be work that input multiplied by time over leverage, right? So you need to put in work as an individual over a particular amount of time through some leverage. Now, why is this important? For that organization to grow, there are different factions. So if any of this faction is defaulting, if any of this faction there's no beautiful sale, there's no fluid movement, it's going to affect other factions. So no matter how professional I am, if I'm coming to my office post and I'm doing this particular set of things at its best, and other set of individuals that are under some particular offices are not efficiently running their own positions, there's no way that will be beautiful. So back to culture. Now, we're living in a cultural based society. Nigeria is culturally based, and because it's culturally based, what you see and what you can do are two different things, right? So we're living in a society where what you can say is much more important than what you can do, and if that is the case, you would have a very defaulted form of workplace. So most times, I believe we should inculcate more of the right culture. Now, the right culture has a lot of things. The leadership is one of the cultures. Oh, how can we tolerate ourselves? How can we learn how to communicate? How can we remove the mindset of mediocrity? So one of the major form of growth in any business is not even the product you are selling, it's the emotion, and that's why culture is important. Why would you love Apple? Why do you love Tesla? Because you assume there's a right culture these people have. Most people that go to buy Apple devices from official Apple store, they will tell you the culture of these guys are the best. McDonald's have the lowest form of I'm call it either resigning or retirement over the last 40 years. Most people don't want to leave this organization. You know why? Because there's a particular kind of culture. These guys are bonded. Even if you test them and say, I'm going to give you $1,000 or $2,000 for you to leave, most of them will not, because they have a form of security, because they feel that they are a family. So you should build emotion more than the product. So for the growth of any business, emotion is much more important. That's why Apple sells, that's why Tesla is the best, that's why Microsoft, because these guys sell emotion. And the emotion they are selling is not just the devices you are using. The devices you are using are a product of the culture and emotion that this company have within themselves. That's why excellence is always the key. Because if you have the right culture, we will see it by the evidence of the product.
Of course, and when you build those emotions, it has a way of instilling loyalty.
That is the key.
Okay, are there industry sectors here in Nigeria that where you think professionalism is stronger or weak?
Stronger or weak? So I have some at the back of my mind where I think professionalism is stronger. And the one is the banking sector, and that's because there is a visible punishment to any form of default, right? So why people are tend to be professionals in the banking sector is because you know if something goes wrong, there's a potential that you will be punished. So one of the places where we have poor professionalism in the schooling sector, we have very, 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 very unprofessional lecturers and staff running the school sector in Nigeria, in every from university to secondary school to even the primary school. And that's why that's the thing about growth is from the top you begin to see it. If you don't inculcate professionalism in me as a child, when I become an adult, because all we grow, young shall grow, right? So when I become an adult, I would also I'm literally seeing what you did when I was in school.
Yeah, of course.
So I would portray that kind of behavior. I would showcase it to the world.
Somebody say that no matter how much you tell a child what to do, at some point the child will figure you out.
I completely agree.
So if you're actually living by what you're saying, the child will know.
Exactly. So the banking sector is one of the clear sector I would say that's showcasing professionalism from the outside world. I'm not a banker, but one of the weakest unprofessional systems in Nigeria sector is the educational sector.
All right, educational sector. Somebody will say we've not talked about the police.
Yeah. So this is the thing, and that is why I said there should be context. So
Yeah.
why we think police are not professional is because we have access to the front line of the ones that are not professional. So let me give you an example. If there's a building or if there's two different brands and you have access to 50 people from one particular brand, right? And this brand A, we have lots of unprofessional people. We have people that are mediocres, right? And you have access to 50 of them. And out of those 50, 20 are unprofessional. And you get to see 10 every day. Whether you like it or not, you assume that company is not professional. But in a situation whereby you don't get to see a company of 100 every day and you have access to probably 2 or 3, you would think this brand A, is worse and B is the best because you don't have access. So the reason why most of us think police is bad is because we literally see them every day. We have access to the bad ones. The bad ones are the front line. So that's why whether or not you disagree with me, I think we have better police officers than we have the bad ones. But we just have access to the bad ones more than we have access to the good ones.
And sometimes negativity is somehow has a way of being louder than any other thing.
Yes, it is. It is because extroverts tend to have higher tendencies to express how they feel. And most negative people are extroverts because they have a particular thing in them they want to lay out. The problem they are laying out is not the foundation, right? There's something underneath it. So when they have any bit of access to airing out their view, they begin to blow out a lot of things. So that's why we feel negativity is louder than positivity. But there's a lot of people that, even your fans out there are a lot of people that really follow you up, but they're not saying anything, right? They're not saying anything. They just watch.
They won't even comment. They won't even
nothing at all. They see these guys that have little problem with you. They might even comment 5 times in a video. I'm like, bro, relax, take a chill pill, right? So that's why I feel negativity is louder than positivity.
All right. I think we need to pay attention to the role of continuous training and development of workers towards if you're actually going for excellence. Because every company needs excellence. I noticed one thing in Nigeria amongst business owners, they have a way of not really investing in development and training of their workers. So I will tell you that Shebi, after spending all this money, they will leave. But others will be like, what's the need? Do you understand? And then there's still this attitude that most offices have. Rather than spending money in training you, they'll learn on the job and all these things, and then you start doing it. But how will you analyze the role of continuous training and intentional development towards improving the efficiency of it?
Alright, so I'm going to take it in 2 ways. The first way is you're not losing when you train somebody. You're also training yourself, right? So you're also learning. So if I'm investing in you to become better, first of all, look at it as it's going to be the betterment of this company, right? So that idea of loss is the major problem why people don't grow. We think that we fear of losing. We fear of the fact that if I lose this person, I've lost a lot of money. No, you didn't lose. You just trained an individual, right? The law of reciprocity. You will definitely, believe me, guys, if you have the ability, if you have the opportunity to train anybody, train that person. The law of reciprocity has always given us that privilege of always getting it back. Now you might not get it as a new person coming to work for you. You are going to get a lot of opportunities. So always put in that mindset. So the second thing is mindset, like I said. Most business owners don't understand what even growth is. Right? Most business owners don't even understand a business. Most business owners, most CEOs don't even understand what it means to grow or establish a business. Right? You think it's about buying and selling. No, it's beyond that. There's a lot of sales, there's a lot of negotiation, there's a lot of persuasion, there's so many things, logistics that go in. So if you find someone that is good in one of those things, what you have to do is to train that to one person in that one thing, right? Look for another person and train another thing, and then have somebody that monitor everything. And lastly, every form of business that leads to growth is always contract based. Bro, there should be no relationship, there should be no emotion when you have a particular goal for your business. Be strict. Oh, I'm going to train you and you're going to sign this thing. Oh, in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years, you have to work here because this is what we're going to do. You are not doing this because of me, you're doing this because of your own self too. So I think it should be mindset and contract based.
Okay, what will you say are the biggest challenges facing the Nigerian worker today as it comes to achieving efficiency and professionalism and excellence as well? Both I need us to take it from both the public and the private sector because they have relative challenges, but they are not always the same. So what do you think is the biggest, um, the most challenging thing they are facing right now?
First is work-life balance.
Okay.
That's the first major challenge that cuts across private and public sector. See, Nigeria is one of the weirdest countries where we have everything, but we also lack everything at the same time. We have everything and we lack everything. An average worker in Nigeria is paid above 70,000 naira. Now, from that 70,000 naira, we expect that individual to transport themselves to the office every single day of the week. You expect that individual to feed a family of 3, 4, 5. You expect that individual to pay rent, bills are piling up. So, how do you expect that individual to have this little income and establish balance? It's not possible. So, one of the first things I think we need to call out is the government. The Nigerian government is trying as much as possible not to fail, but they are failing. And if they are failing, it's going to rub off on every sector of it.
Well, no, I need to correct this impression. I don't think they're actually trying or they are pretending to be trying because these are actually two different things.
Honestly, what Nigeria is, we have a society where we are led by people that believe in mirage. So when you're traveling, you see water in front, and the closer you drive, the closer you observe that water is not there. So they sell a particular kind of idea to some people that, oh, there's water there. Whether or not you've passed through that road, we have people that have gone through this road. They know that traveling Abuja, Lokoja road, there's no stream at this particular point. But these guys still believe that there's water there. So that's why I say they are trying. Anyway, back to the question of how we should look at it from private and public sector. So one of the things that caught is the fact that we are living in a poor work-life balance environment. So first of all, I want every business owner. Why I'm calling business owner first is because it starts from the top. And let's even look at it from the government. The government should position individuals in the country in such a way that we have access, not just access, we have opportunities to fight. Now, when I mean fight, I mean from data, from network providers. We live in a society where you can't have competitions internationally because you're also complaining about something. There's either network issue, there's either data issue. So there's a struggle of work-life balance. How can I balance my work and how can I balance my life? And I think that's the major thing that cuts across both sectors. I hope
yeah, of course, and that was awesome. And this next question is: are there systemic or cultural barriers the Nigerians need to overcome for them to be able to compete at the same standard globally?
Yes, the first is religion. Religion is see. This
is actually
religion.
No, I need to calm down right here.
Yeah. So religion is the first. I believe in God. So let me put that out here clearly. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. He died.
You're a Christian. You're a practical Christian, actually.
The problem with this belief that has been sold to some individuals is the belief of Christ will make you prosper. Brothers and sisters, prayer doesn't give you money. prayer doesn't give you prosperity. I don't believe, I'm telling you this, a lot of people are going to come after me, but I don't care. I don't believe that you can pray to become rich. Right? So that's the first problem we have. We have people that will spend 4 or 5 hours in church every single day of the week for the whole 7 days in a week and expect to be wealthy. Why? Because they assume that their prayer can sell an energy that will bring money. When you can use that time, I'm not trying to say you shouldn't go to church. I go to church. I'm not trying to say you should not pray, you should not fast. You should. There are times you should do those things. There are positions you should do those things. But the actual thing you should do, you're not doing those things to get money. The scripture says, it says, anything you lay your hands to do will prosper. That means prosperity is for doers. Prosperity is for people that are actually and actively working. So the first cultural barrier that is holding a lot of people in Nigeria is religion. We've been sold that the belief in God brings wealth. That is not true. Nobody should deceive you. Religion, God, doesn't give you money. What gives you money is you providing value to people. When you provide value to an individual, you sell them something, that is how you get money. The idea of praying to God for money is for sustenance, right? So there's a room of favor, there's a room of mercy. That's a particular different thing entirely. That's when you've done your own part. But most people actually, they're not doing their part, they're leaving God to do their own part. That's why we have 95% of the prayer warriors today are poor. You know why? Because culturally we've been raised to have the idea of, oh, you need to pray for God to give you money, you need to pray for God to grant you favor, you need to pray for God to do this and do that. God will never do those things for you. What God will do for you is giving you the knowledge and the understanding which He has given to you. You have it inside of you to generate wealth. So you have to put in that information out, you have to sell that knowledge, that skill for you to make money. So the first cultural barrier we have, and why I say religion, is because Nigeria is one of the most religious countries.
No, we're not actually the highest religious.
But we're one of the most, at least top 5 or top 10.
Top 2.
Top 2, exactly. So we have people that are more religious than people that are effectively putting out skill. You meet a young person, right? A young person that should use 10 hours in a week to learn a skill, right? 10 hours in a week to learn a skill. That 10 hours, they would not learn that skill. They use that 10 hours, that same 10 hours, to devote into some other activity. Now, I'm not reporting any church activity. I am completely a church boy. But what I'm trying to tell you is you should understand balance. There are things God will do for you, and there are things God will not do for you. So culture is one of the, religion is one of the cultural barriers we need to step across.
All right, religion is, and then it's it cuts across everything.
One more cultural barrier is the mindset that every rich person did something bad. That is one of the craziest mindsets that has been sold to us, and it's so subconscious that even myself, I had to fight myself out of it. When you see somebody driving a G-Wagon in line, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Not a lecturer, not a professor, not a teacher, not a doctor. The first thing that comes to your mind is a Yahoo boy, is a fraudster, is a politician, is someone that has done something. That mindset should be killed. If you want to succeed, there are legitimate ways that people have made money. So remove the mindset of every form of wealth that is extreme is illegal.
And the thing even speaks volume to every single thing we want to see happening in this country. God is not coming to save us here.
No.
If we want to fix our political system, it's our responsibility. If we want to fix our economy, it's our responsibility, because we are an embodiment of His gifts, of His blessing.
Absolutely, we have everything within us to make it happen.
Right, we are actually coming to an end, and then I want us to look at this one. With the rise of remote work, digital tools, and globalization, how is the identity of Nigerian worker evolving?
Oh, it's going to be, so first of all, right, let's run back to emotion, right? We are living in a very digital based world now, but Nigerians are failing to understand. So one of the analysis that was done is Nigeria is a 15-year-old country, in the sense that when something comes out, it takes Nigeria 15 years. That's crazy. It takes Nigeria 15 years to get used to anything. So AI, an example. Let's assume AI came out in around 2013, 2014 to 16 thereabout. Then 2025 already, and we still have people that are not efficient in the use of this. So the thing I'm going to advise every young Nigerian is spend time understanding that we are not fighting a national based war when it comes to the global market. We are fighting an international based war. When you put something on Instagram, this video is going to go on YouTube or on TikTok or any platform. You're not restricting it to only Nigerians, right? So the excellence of this video should not be on the standard of Nigerians. It should be on the standard of everybody globally. So change the mindset of international based battle and of national based battle, and look for the fact that every form of your excellence, every form of your skill development should go internationally. Look for things that are being sold out there and learn those things. Any skill you are learning in 2025 should be something that is scalable and sellable, right? So, for instance, there are skills that you can never make a particular amount of money, whether you like it or not, whether you are the best in that, right? So, but there are skills that you have easy access to from AI, prompt engineering, coding, right? Web design. Now, AI models will come and take over the skills, but before they do, you can efficiently use those things. So, Nigerians, especially the young people, should change the perspective of looking at only things they can sell here, right? And look at things they can sell internationally. I mean product and service, not just product.
And I love what you say. The average Nigerian young person should be looking at acquiring skills that are scalable and sellable.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Gift. And what advice will you give to young Nigerian professionals trying to build a career marked by efficiency, professionalism, and excellence?
Consistency. We spoke about it a few seconds before the podcast began. See, there's something about life. Anywhere you're going to is guaranteed, except to stop going there. You can actually trek from here to Abuja.
No, I need to say that again.
Everywhere you're going to is guaranteed you will get there, only if you stop going. Like, that is the first thing my dad told me. He said the only way you fail is if you stop. Like, you can't. Words are failing me to express this. You can become anything. You can become that professional you want to be, no matter how much hindrance you have around you.
It only takes time.
It only takes time, and the definition of time is you have to keep going. If you post this video every single week or month or day, depends on your own frequency and schedule, for the next 10 years, you will assume that amount of people you want. Mr. Beast, it took him 15 years
to get to his level.
15 years to over 300 million subscribers. 15 years. MKBH did the same thing, right? It took MKBH around 11 to 15 years too. Mr. Who is the boss, the same thing. I can name many YouTubers. We're just talking about YouTube as professionals in this context. So you have to be consistent. Now, consistency requires one thing, and that thing is called clarity. You must have a clear vision of where you are going to. Now, when you know where you are going to, you will not go to everywhere. Because for instance, if I have a car now and I'm driving to Abuja and you are going to Lagos, no matter how much love you have for me, you will not enter my car because we're going to go to different places. But if I consistently go, if I consistently keep moving, if I consistently walk, you can trek from here to Abuja. The only thing that will make you not reach to Abuja is if you stop. It will take you a day, it will take you 2 days, a week, a month, 2 years. But time will always be proof. So you have to be consistent. If you want to become better, if you want to become excellent, if you see subconsciously, what consistency does is it gives you room to know things that you don't know. So let me just give this illustration a bit. And making YouTube videos was one of the first things I wanted to do, and the only way I wanted to do those things was to review books. So I started with reviewing books. I just wanted to read a book a week and talk about it. That was all I wanted. I wanted to become a medical doctor, read a book a week, and after reading that book a week, I would review it on YouTube. That was all. Now, because of that, I started uploading videos on YouTube. Now, because I started uploading videos on YouTube, I started watching more YouTube videos. I started learning video editing. Why? Because I want to make my videos better, right? Because I started learning video editing, I started meeting other people that know how to edit videos. Now, meeting other people that know how to edit videos, I learned digital marketing. Oh, Gift, if you put a video online, you can actually run ads with it. Now, see, this one thing that I have started, because I was consistent in that thing, has opened doors for other things. So that one goal you're pursuing might not even be where you get to, but you will have opportunity to meet other things. You have opportunity to build your own personal brand. If you're consistent, you gain finance, you gain status, and at the end, one of the things we're all looking out for is freedom. We want to be free. So consistency is the key.
All right. And if you are to get to the position of implementing one policy for Nigerian workers today, what would that be?
It depends. Depends. I have a it depends on. It depends on. So on the lighter note, I would ensure that everybody working for me have a particular thing they are doing relating to what they are doing for me. That's one. So for instance, if I have a business, a media company, right, and I have someone that loves podcasting, right, and I have a podcast, right, I would encourage all wear suits every day to the office, whether or not you want to wear suit, you must be dressed in suit, and all females I'm going to put a strong ban on lashes and nails. I don't like lashes and nails, so it's going to be one of the major policies.
Remember, it's on the lighter note actually.
Yeah, this on a very serious note. As long as you're having nails and lashes, you will be sacked.
Alright, going forward, what will be your parting words to the average Nigerian worker, both young and old?
Average Nigerian worker. Bema said a quote recently that really changed my mind. He said, God will give you anything at the price of labor. If you really put in the work, you put in the actual work, like Mary always said, if you do your best, you might not get the reward here, but you get the reward. My dad told me something. He said, you might not reap where you sow, but you reap what you sow. So I'm encouraging every young and old person out there to actually put in the right work. Not hard work, the right work. There are two different things. Hard work means you're putting in effort. The right work means you're putting in effort through the right vehicle. That's why we have poor people moving around the streets. Excuse me. And I didn't say, but we have people pushing wheelbarrow, pushing trucks that are very poor, but they are putting in hard work. They're putting in hard work, but through the wrong vehicle. So figure out the right vehicle that will take you to your destination. Right? And then secondly, please take this. You have to bet on yourself. The only way I've been able to achieve things I've been able to achieve is because I have just been able to bet on myself. As long as you are not dead and it doesn't involve death, you can't take the risk. And if you take that risk, there are lots of doors that will open. So lastly, God will give you anything at the price of labor. And the definition of labor is you putting in the right work through the right vehicle. Not everything you are doing today is making money, but the right thing will actually make you money.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gift Mathias. And it's been awesome with Gift today. Remember, today is First May Workers' Day, and happy Workers' Day to Nigerian workers, and happy Workers' Day to every worker out there in the world. And of course, you listen, and I hope you internalize and know that you have it all in you to become excellent, to become efficient, to be a professional, and to be incredibly productive. Well, this is the COO, and of course, we are always here to talk solution. See you next time.
John,
Thank you, bro.
I'm happy to do this anytime.